Hey there, Washingtonians. Welcome back to our channel. Get ready, because the story I'm about to tell you today sounds like a movie script. We talked about the signing of receiver Robbie Chosen, right? But what if I told you that his first day at our facility involved possibly the most awkward reunion you can imagine in the NFL? There's a story behind this signing that no one is telling, involving a controversial past and a reunion that could set the tone in our locker room. Stay with me, because you need to understand what's going on behind the scenes at our team. First, let's recap the basics so everyone understands the situation. Our team is going through a difficult time with injuries, especially at receiver. With Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown sidelined, the front office needed to act quickly to add options. It was in this context that Adam Peters, our general manager, made the move to bring veteran Robbie Chosen to the practice squad. A decision that, on the surface, makes perfect sense to add depth to the roster and have an experienced player ready to contribute if called upon. Chosen undoubtedly sees this opportunity as a golden opportunity. Joining a team that, despite a 2-win, 2-loss start, has playoff ambitions is an excellent scenario for a player looking to revive his career. He has the chance to show he can still be the speedy, dangerous receiver he once was. However, upon walking through the doors of our training facility, he encountered a ghost from his professional past, a central figure during the most turbulent period of his career. And this is where our exclusive news begins to unfold. Robbie Chosen's path has crossed again with Scott Fitterer's. For those who don't remember, Fitterer is currently on the Washington Commanders' board of directors, working alongside Adam Peters. But not so long ago, he was the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, the team where Chosen's career began to spectacularly unravel, and Fitterer was the man who made the final decision on the player's future there. Let's go back a bit to understand the gravity of this. In 2020, Chosen had the best season of his life in Carolina, passing for over 1,000 yards. But everything changed when head coach Matt Rhule was fired. Chosen didn't get along with interim head coach Steve Wilks, and the situation escalated into a sideline brawl during a game, resulting in his ejection. The next day, he was traded to the Arizona Cardinals. The man who authorized and executed this trade, sending him away from Carolina, was none other than Scott Fitterer. It's amazing how the NFL world turns, isn't it? Chosen or Fitterer could hardly have imagined their paths would cross again, much less in the same organization. At the time, the receiver was vehement in his criticism of the way his departure from Carolina was handled, making his discontent clear. Now, the two must work together. The big question lingering is whether there's still any resentment between them and how this relationship might, or might not, affect the team's day-to-day operations. Despite this potentially awkward reunion, there's one factor that could be key to Chosen's success in Washington. His main focus needs to be adapting quickly to the system, and he has a significant advantage in that regard. He's already worked with our offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury. Kingsbury was Chosen's head coach in Arizona during the 10 games he played there. This familiarity with the system and the coaching style could significantly accelerate his integration into the offense. This previous connection with Kingsbury is likely the main reason this hire was made. It's very likely that our offensive coordinator's opinion carried far more weight in the decision than any assessment by Scott Fitterer. Kingsbury knows the player, understands his capabilities, and believes he can extract good performance from him. It's a bet on the recovery of a talent, guided by someone who has previously coached him closely and understands what he can offer. Now, I want to hear your honest opinion on this whole situation. Do you think this reunion with the person who dumped you in the past could be a problem? Or do you believe professionalism will prevail? Leave your comment below. And if you want to stay up to date with all the developments behind the scenes of this story, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications, because we'll be following this closely and bringing you any news firsthand. Ultimately, this signing is a double-edged sword. We hope the Kingsbury connection will revitalize the career of a talented player, but we also have the shadow of a troubled past, and a reunion that tests the new culture being implemented. This brings me to a final question for you to ponder. In an organization seeking a fresh start, whose voice will carry more weight in this team's future? That of the man who let him go in the past, or that of the coach who believes he can bring him back now?